In the quiet suburban town of Amityville, Long Island, in the year 1974, the DeFeo family lived in what seemed like an ordinary house on Ocean Avenue, a typical two-story home surrounded by neatly trimmed lawns and the calm of an otherwise peaceful neighborhood. But beneath the surface of this seemingly serene exterior, a tragedy was about to unfold that would forever etch the name Amityville into the annals of paranormal lore. On the night of November 13th, Ronald DeFeo Jr., a young man of 23, would take the lives of his entire family in a chilling act that shocked the community and the nation, leaving behind 6 deceased family members, and the house, now soaked in blood and tragedy, would stand as a silent witness to the horror that had occurred within its walls, its windows staring blankly into the street as if it had absorbed the dark energy of that night. And then, just a year later, the Lutz family, drawn perhaps by the house's affordability or maybe by a morbid curiosity, would move in, unaware that they were stepping into a nightmare that would change their lives forever. George and Kathy Lutz, along with their 3 children, found themselves immediately unsettled by the atmosphere of the home, describing it as oppressive, heavy, and unlike any other place they had lived, feeling as though an invisible weight hung over every room, a weight that seemed to watch them, follow them, and even manipulate the physical space around them, from strange drafts to doors that would slam on their own, and lights that flickered without explanation. While George, in particular, reported waking up at the exact same time every night to the sound of chanting, whispers, or worse, an inexplicable presence at the foot of his bed that seemed to radiate pure malevolence. The family began noticing other phenomena, like furniture moving by itself, objects disappearing and reappearing in impossible places, and mirrors that reflected not what was actually in the room, but something darker, something that felt alive and angry. While the children spoke of visions of grotesque faces staring at them from corners and shadows, and the household pets reacted as if threatened by invisible entities, barking, growling, and refusing to enter certain rooms, heightening the sense of dread that had begun to take over the once normal domestic space, leading the Lutzes to call in priests and paranormal investigators in desperate attempts to understand or cleanse the house. But even these attempts yielded results that only deepened the mystery, with priests reportedly fleeing from rooms suddenly filled with unseen forces, and investigators capturing unexplained cold spots, electromagnetic anomalies, and audio recordings of whispers and voices that seemed to speak directly to George and Kathy, warning them to leave or suffer the consequences. As the days and nights wore on, the family's sense of reality itself began to fracture, with Kathy reporting vivid nightmares that bled into waking life, including visions of her children being harmed by unseen hands, and George describing compulsions to perform actions he would have sworn against, all while a pervasive feeling of being watched never left them, making the simple act of sleeping, eating, or even using the bathroom a tense and terrifying experience. And as word of their experiences spread, journalists and curious onlookers descended on the town, some skeptical, some eager for sensationalism, but all captivated by the accounts of a home that seemed to defy the boundaries between the natural and the supernatural, between safety and terror. And as the Lutz family's story gained national attention, it inspired the creation of books and films that attempted to capture the sheer horror of living in a house haunted by forces that no one could fully explain. Forces that may have been a product of the violent death that had occurred a year prior, or perhaps something older, something that had always lingered, waiting for the right moment to make itself known. With the house itself becoming a character in the story, its very walls seeming to pulse with an evil intent, creaking, groaning, and shifting as if alive. And while some experts and skeptics have dismissed the entire narrative as a hoax, a clever marketing scheme, or the result of overactive imaginations and psychological stress, the Lutz family's experience nonetheless captivated the public imagination, leading to debates about the existence of ghosts, demons, and otherworldly presences, with some paranormal researchers citing the detailed accounts of cold spots, objects moving independently, and strange disembodied voices as compelling evidence, while psychologists and skeptics point to the possibility of sleep paralysis, suggestion, or mass hysteria as explanations for the phenomena. Yet regardless of interpretation, the Amityville Horror remains one of the most famous cases of alleged haunting in American history, and the house on Ocean Avenue continues to evoke curiosity, fear, and speculation, standing as a chilling reminder that sometimes the places we call home may hold secrets that are far darker than anything we could imagine, and for those who live through it, the memories of strange sounds echoing through the halls, shadows moving against the light, and an ever-present feeling of being watched are not easily dismissed or forgotten, leaving a legacy of terror that has been captured, retold, and dramatized for decades, ensuring that the story of the Amityville Horror will endure, not just as a tale of alleged supernatural occurrences, but as a reflection of humanity's enduring fascination with the unknown, the unseen, and the inexplicable. A story that blurs the line between reality and imagination, fear and fact. And for anyone who dares to enter the house, even in memory or on film, it serves as a stark reminder that sometimes the most horrifying things are not the ones we see, but the ones we feel, lurking just beyond perception, waiting for the perfect moment to make themselves known.